Hey, what is up, y'all? This is Rainbow Fire, the unicorn knows the last unicorn. This is my tapeless camcorder, 1985. I cleaned it really, really well, made it look really, really good, and I kind of want to share how I did this camera. Um, Honestly, I did a really good job with this camera. I got this fun fact with this camera. Well, it's a tube camera. That it's actually a tube camera, like not transistor but tube. That's how they were back then. Um, but this is a VHS camera. Um, and yes, you're looking at a picture of the great outdoors. That picture on my phone, on my iPhone, is Uncle Roman from the Great Outdoors. John Candy Great Outdoors. Uncle Roman had one of these cameras, but except his was a Parasonic camcorder. Now, the movie The Great Outdoors came out maybe I think Great Outdoors came out in 1988. That's the year it came out. And I think that camera that Uncle Roman's using is a newer model, probably from 1988 or 1989. Either a newer model than mine. Because Uncle Roman, in this picture, Uncle Roman is holding a uh, uh, Parasonic camcorder. But if you see in the videos, Uncle Roman has that camera. But like I said, Gray Outdoors were my favorite films back in the day of John Candy, because John Candy was the best. Um, he made a lot of videos back then. He was a really good camera guy. But yeah. But this is my tapeless camcorder, and I'm gonna show it off to you guys just to show you what I want to talk about. So, but this camera, I got at a local drift store about last year. I've been looking for one of these cameras for so long because um, we used to have one of these cameras years ago, but then luckily I got work. Well, I found one. Now I don't know if we have our original family camera. I don't even know if we still got it. I think we threw it away years ago. But this is my tapeless camcorder. Now the one thing I did do, I broke the microphone. Yes, that is a different microphone you see on the front of the camcorder. That's a Velcro microphone. That's a separate microphone you can plug in the headphone jack. So you really don't need the original mic, but that's a good one for whatever it is. It has a microphone in the front. Um, Now the strap came off of the strap on the camcorder that came off of a old laptop carrier. So I made that. So I had a bunch of laptop carriers. I figured I'll put this one there, and yeah. So you're wondering how in the hell I'm making this camera run, just like Uncle Roman from the Gray Outdoors, because he's putting it on his shoulder and making it run portable. Because the problem with these cameras is the batteries. The batteries they go bad. They go bad over time. They don't work. And honestly, I'm going to show you in about a couple minutes. Uh, there's a little piece of yellow tape on there. That is the standby mode is on. That means it stays on while the mini DVR from a drone, the mini DVR on the top of the camcorder hooked up to the yellow and white video and audio out. In. Video audio in to video audio out from the camcorder. So the camcorder is running video out into video in into the MIDI DVR drone. That you just hit a button. When you press it one button, it records. Now I'll show it to you lit up. So there it is, the MIDI DVR drone lit up. MIDI DVR. You hit the left button and it records. And it's tapeless, no tapes required, it's tapeless. I'm going to turn it off so I can see the battery. Sorry for all the talking upstairs, but you're going to hear a lot of talking because it's really up there. But anyway, this camcorder is very special because this is something that my mom and dad filmed when we were young. This is something that I want to bring my nostalgic memories when I was a kid. All right, let's show you how I do this with the battery because I know you want to see that. But yeah, there's Uncle Roman with his camcorder in the great outdoors with John Candy. All right, let's show you how I do this. So here we go. So this battery that I have on the camcorder, yes, it has the counter. I'm going to turn this around. This is a battery charger for your phone, or you press this button right here. There's a light and a cigarette lighter. Plug this up. All right, it's plugged up. It's plugged in. Cigarette lighter is plugged in. Turn the camera on. Pull the viewfinder off like Uncle Roman. And you're filming just like Uncle Roman. Can't see it because wait a minute. And there you go. There's the inside. So that's how you film like Uncle Roman in 2026. A tapeless camera, no VHS required, just a mini DVR, and to run the camcorder, you run a cigarette lighter portable battery. Now I'm going to turn this off because I'm going to film some squirrels tomorrow. Yeah, there's a bunch of squirrels in my local park. I like to film the squirrels and just fun things, you know what I mean? Like I said, this camera is very special. It's one of my favorite things I ever made. One of my favorite things I love. But this is something that I grew up with, and I'm pretty sure everyone else has done. But yeah, seeing Uncle, the first thing, I will tell you this, when the first thing I got this camera, I filmed myself using the sound effects from Uncle Roman. Yeah. Smokey the Bear and doing on the, turn that damn camera off. Turn that damn thing off. That's what John Candy would say. Out of the wood shepherds with Smokey the Bear and Smokey Cousins. You have to watch the Great Outdoors with Uncle Roman. I would tell you a little bit about Uncle Roman from the Great Outdoors. So the Great Outdoors is basically a sitcom where John Candy was just a regular. He was like a more of a guy that just, he tried to live with not have a lot of money, but he lived what he had, He didn't make a lot of money, but he lived the way he lived. Now, Uncle Roman here, he was like the businessman. And in the movie, The Great Outdoors, he was riding in this fancy car with this fancy, like he had a ring on his finger, fancy watch and stuff. He even had a cell phone from the 80s where he pulled the antenna out. He's like, this cell service, yeah, chat, yeah, this cell service doesn't work up here. And then his wife comes out and says, we only talked to him at church or whatever it was. You guys have to watch The Great Outdoors where you go, you know what I'm saying? But basically what it is, Uncle Roman was more of the businessman. He had all the top gadgets and stuff where um, um, John Candy, he, not John Candy, Buck, I think it's Buck. John Candy, he had more of the just Just trying to live on life and not worry about fancy gadgets and stuff and trying to live the great outdoors like his father did. But yeah, it is a great film. If you want to see the great outdoors, this is one of the most beloved films of all time. I know I'm meant to be talking about the camcorder, but like I said, the reason you're looking at the great outdoors and Uncle Roman's camcorder is because I love old tech. And seeing Uncle Roman with that camera reminds me when my mom filmed her birthdays or Christmases or heck, even her freaking like lots of good memories. These old video cameras will live on to our lives because this is what we grew up with. Now we got cameras that are really small. Now, like I said, this camera would not replace anything good nowadays. This camera is just for filming nostalgic videos, like making them look nostalgic. You know what I mean? And I mean, there's a lot of people that can actually just record this crap and use apps to make their videos look old filtery. But like I said, nothing beats the real thing. You know what I mean? Like I said, look at that lens. It's all adjustable, manual. You can do it manually and you can do it electrically. Um, Now I don't know about Uncle Roman's camera. I know his is a Panasonic, and he only pulls that camera out for that scene. It's kind of sad because I wanted to see Uncle Roman use that camera more in the film. You figured he would have filmed more of John Candy just doing some crazy incidents, you know what I mean? Just doing some crazy stuff. But honestly, I don't know. But like I said, John Candy was one of my favorite films back in the day, and it when I saw that scene with Uncle Roman with the camcorder, I had to reenact that scene. The first thing I got the camera, I played that scene on a speaker and just mouthed it out. But like I said, you never know what you find at thrift stores. And I was getting ready to walk out of that thrift store empty-handed, and I just saw this camcorder sitting in a box and not even touched. It didn't have the charger. That was the one problem. It did not have the charger. It only had the battery, the yellow and white cables, and that was it. Um, I was taking a chance of it not working, and I took it apart. I took this camera apart, trying to fix it the regular way, but it wouldn't eject. It just kept shutting off. So I basically just took it apart, fixed it, and all that. But like I said, when I tried to fix the camera, I tried to replace the belts too. The belts were all gooey. The problem with these old VHS cameras, the belts get very gooey, and they won't. You can replace the rubber bands in these camcorders, but they're a pain. Pardon my language. They're a pain in the ass, like lips and assholes. That's what John Candy says. Lips and ass. That's what Uncle Roman says. What is that? Lips and assholes. Hot dogs. But yeah, I'm surprised Uncle Roman didn't film John Candy getting hit with a bear. The bear jumps on the back. The bald head killer bear falls on John Candy, and he's like, "Get off of me!" He's bouncing the door. You figured John Candy will run up. You figured Uncle Roman will run upstairs, grab the camcorder, and go, "Hey, smile for the camera, John Candy." He's like, "Do something! Get this bear off of me!" "Oh no, no, no! I'm gonna film the bald head killer bear jumping on you. Ow, ow, ow! Get off of me, you stupid bear!" Can you imagine that? You figure Uncle Roman would run upstairs and grab the camcorder. I guess he was just too scared not to film the reaction, but yeah, that would have been funny. But yeah, this is the only scene he actually pulls it out in the film. I'm pretty shocked he just hasn't pulled it out and showed. But yeah, like I said, this is my tapeless camera. I want to share to show you guys how I made it work, and I'll be filming a bunch of squirrels with this camcorder, and basically just fun things. Oh yeah, check out The Great Outdoors. This is one of my childhood films that I grew up with, and this is one of my favorite films. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up, but this is Rainbow Fire the Unicorn. There's the last unicorn. Hope you guys have a good one. Peace out. Yeah, peace.